My wife is addicted to the gym, and it's ruining our marriage. Posted by you/other_salt 3889. My wife is 30 years old and has always worked out and stayed in shape, but lately I feel like it's becoming excessive. She used to work out regularly at a gym in college. At some point, she stopped going due to her schedule and preferred working out at home or going for runs outside. About 18 months ago, she announced she was getting back into the habit of going to the gym. She now had a job that allowed her more time for it. It started off normal, but slowly became more and more frequent. She signed up for classes both weekend days, then started going every day. It became morning sessions before work and again in the evening, every single day. If she was stressed, she went to the gym. If she experienced a life crisis, she immediately headed to the gym. If we had an argument, she ran to the gym. She is 4 months pregnant now. I am kind of surprised we even had time to conceive. I understand that it's safe for her to work out, especially since she was already in the habit of doing it before she got pregnant, but the intensity has not slowed down at all. If she misses one of her normal gym sessions, she becomes so irritable, like a junkie not getting her fix. It is truly bizarre. Of course, she gets upset when I voice that I feel it's becoming an unhealthy obsession and that I miss spending time with her because she's there so much. She has this whole group of gym friends she prefers spending time with over me. When I suggested we work out together at the gym, she insisted that the gym is her time. She refused to go to my gym, and she would not let me go to hers. This is not about me feeling insecure or out of shape. I work out too and am in shape. My job requires it. I genuinely feel her gym habits are unhealthy. She is overexercising. There is such a thing. Worse than that, I feel it is becoming a way for her to escape everything else in her life. She never actually fixes anything that goes wrong. She just runs off to the gym to get some sort of mood boost, and then that's it. Meanwhile, I have to do every chore, and if food is going to get made, I have to make it. I do not expect her to do everything, but it should at least be a shared effort. People we know have even commented. They have said she seems different, how she sure is at the gym a lot, and many of her friends and family barely see her anymore. Some have even suggested she is having an affair with someone there. Please tell me this does not sound normal to you. She insists it is perfectly normal. I posted about this 9 days ago, and I laughed off comments suggesting she might be cheating. I really believed she was just obsessed with the gym. She usually always has her phone on her, but one day she left it on the kitchen counter. As stupid as I felt, I decided to do a quick swipe through her texts. She had a current conversation going on with a guy. I recognized the name. It was the same guy she mentioned from the gym, someone she had talked about a lot. She had even gone to his wedding last fall. At first, I was not too concerned until I started reading the texts. I didn't want to know what the guy's private parts looked like, but now I know. She was only out of the room for literally about a minute or two, so I had to scroll fast. I was furious. I asked her what that conversation was about. She started yelling at me for looking at her phone. I told her she had been acting so weird and that the gym obsession really bothered me, so I decided to look. I was ashamed that I did it, but I thought I would find nothing. She kept yelling, "It's nothing. It's nothing." It did not look like nothing to me. I wanted to know if she had been sleeping with him and for how long. She kept saying no. I left the house because I was so furious, but not before I slammed her phone on the ground and shattered it. She hit me on the back as hard as she could. I left and went to my brother's house. My brother and sister-in-law were shocked, although my sister-in-law had often mentioned that my wife's gym obsession seemed weird. When I went home, she was in bed crying. She could not call me or anyone else since her phone was broken. She was laying it on thick, saying, I didn't know if you'd ever come home. I still do not know how deep it goes. She refuses to admit to anything beyond what I saw. Was it sexting bad enough or more? I am convinced it was more, but she refuses to hand over her phone. Now she is trying to act like I am some terrible monster for breaking her phone. Not my proudest moment, but after she punched me, I honestly wanted to body slam her. I have never and would never actually hurt her. The day after I broke her phone, she asked me to stay home from work so we could talk. She had laid in bed all day the day before, trying to get me to feel sorry for her, but I ignored her and went to my family's Super Bowl party. I wasn't even in the mood to go, but I was not going to sit at home with her. She kept texting me things like, "Who just leaves like that when something like this is happening? Who is that cold and callous that they just leave to go to a party?" The next day, I stayed home to talk to her. She was full of tears, saying she was so sorry. She said she really was going to the gym twice a day because she loved it. It was fun, and that is where her friends are. She met this guy there, and he started flirting with her. Everyone liked him. He was one of the most popular guys there. I did not realize there were popular people at gyms. She admitted she flirted back, but claimed she did not mean anything by it. She said at first she did not reciprocate much, but he gave her butterflies, and she found herself flirting without thinking. She said it felt like a schoolgirl crush. They started texting. At first, it was friendly and non-sexual for several months, but she would feel giddy every time he texted her. She said she was really attracted to him, but told him she was married, and there could never be anything between them. According to her, he kept flirting and said, "Sure, we won't cross the line." Until they did. She said she tried to resist for a while, but then one day they kissed. She admitted she enjoyed it, but also felt it was wrong. She must not have felt that bad because she slept with him for the first time that night. She described it as falling in love for the first time. All she could think about was him. I asked if she was in love with him. She said she did not know. I asked if the baby was mine. She said she thinks so because he always used protection, but there is always a small chance. They were still sleeping together at the time. She got pregnant. She said she loves me, but could not help that there was a huge spark between them. She said she did not know what she wanted to do. She did not know if she loved him. She did not know if the baby was mine, and she did not know what we should do. The nail in the coffin was when she asked, "You would really leave me if it's not your baby, would you?" I told her of course I would. I would never raise another man's child. She seemed genuinely shocked and said, "Really? With everything we have and all our history, you wouldn't even consider it?" I told her no, I would never consider it. She tearfully agreed to get a paternity test. She acted as though I should feel sorry for her about it. I don't even know who this woman is anymore. She was crying the entire time, but they were not tears of remorse or shame. They were tears for herself, meant to make me feel bad for her. She has ruined my life, but I just feel numb right now. It would have been bad enough for her to have an affair, but she could not even stop when she found out she was pregnant. At least if there had been no baby, I could have walked away. Now I feel stuck dealing with her forever if it's my baby. My child will grow up with divorced parents, with a mother known at the gym as someone who slept around. Maybe she will even take off to live near her family and take my child with her. But then she would be away from a guy who gives her butterflies and sleeps with her in gym changing rooms. She has ruined fatherhood for me, regardless of whether this is my child or not. If it is not my baby and I manage to break free completely, I will still think about this when I start a family someday. I was so excited to have this baby with her. Even though we hadn't planned for it, I was happy. We had names picked out. I was present for everything. Now she has done this, not just to me, but to this poor child regardless of who the biological father is. She keeps saying, "I'll never go back to the gym again. I'll never talk to him again." But she cannot even say whether she is in love with him. What kind of fool does she think I am? She still thinks there is a chance I will agree to raise another man's child with her. She does not take me seriously when I say there is no way I would do that. She is dependent on me. I believe she would not actually leave me if I knocked someone else up and wanted her to play stepmother. She would be furious. She might go sleep with someone else to get back at me. But I don't think she would have the guts to leave. I do not feel the same way. I am sad to leave her. I don't want this to be our reality. I can't even say that I completely hate her yet, but I will not raise another man's child. If she feels so strongly about him and thinks he is so wonderful, then she should go be with him and leave everyone else alone. She was practically on her knees yesterday, saying she would never go back to the gym and would never contact him again. But that does not align with the fact that she cannot even say whether she is in love with him. She obviously still has strong feelings for him, likely more from between her legs than from her actual heart, but it does not matter to me either way. Despite everything, she is dependent on me for stability. We have been together since she was 20 years old. I am just a familiar, comfortable person. She has her gym friends, but no family or close friends here. She makes decent money, but I make more, and all of our benefits are through me. Even with her salary, living alone as a single mother would be difficult. Yesterday, she was crying all night, saying she has ruined her life. She seemed genuine, like reality was finally hitting her, but I paid no attention. I just acted like she wasn't there. I asked her if she would get blood drawn for a paternity test and not keep me in limbo for months. She said she didn't want to. I am meeting with a lawyer next week, and we'll see what they advise. She missed a few days of work, but eventually went back. She had a meltdown that morning, and I left for work. Later, she said when she got there, everyone at work was making her food and tea. Obviously, she did not tell them what really happened. I have met her affair partner once. Last summer, he called her because he was drunk at a bar and could not drive home. He called her to pick him up. I did not think it was a good idea for her to go out alone that late at night, so I went with her. That was when I met him. I want her out of the house, but I do not want her to fly back home to her parents just yet. If this is my child and she gives birth here, I will be in a much better position regarding custody. If she goes back to her parents' home, that could become the baby's official residence. She claims they have been sleeping together since the summer. That is just what she claims, though. My life feels like it has turned into a trashy daytime talk show. The woman I once considered classy has turned into someone I do not even recognize. She spent about a week trying to get my attention, to get me to talk to her, to beg her to be mine. I did not fall for it. I ignored her, and when we had to talk, I kept it short. We had been living together this whole time, but I was in a different room, functioning separately. Today, she texted me to say she was moving in with her affair partner. She said they were in love. Somehow, I still care about her. I have already met with a lawyer, and I can care about her as a human being and as the possible mother of my child without being married to her. But it still stung to hear she was moving in with him. I told her it was not a smart move to leave the house. I even told her she should meet with a lawyer. She does not care. I asked her if he knew she was pregnant and what she had told him. She said he knew and that he did not care if it was my baby. He loves her and wants to be with her. I found this bizarre. Why would a man take on a pregnant woman who might be carrying another man's child? He is gainfully employed and owns a home. He has other options. And if this really is my baby, then what? My child will live with my wife and her affair partner half the time? I do not know how my life turned into this. And she thinks it is embarrassing to get blood drawn for a paternity test? She moved in with him last weekend. She did not take very much. Most of her stuff is still in our house. I feel like she was waiting for me to beg her to stay. But I did not. It was a strange mix of relief, anger, and sadness. I did not think I ate until the next night. I was not hungry. I drank too much, but I am fine. She texted me this morning to say her affair partner wants a paternity test done, so she is going to do it now. Suddenly, she thought it was a great idea when he wanted it. She asked if I would also submit a sample because it would be cheaper to test both potential fathers at once. I do not care about the cost. I just want an answer. I made my appointment to get swabbed. We should have results within a week. At this point, I will take what I can get because it is better than her dragging this out for another 20 weeks. I feel stuck in limbo. I miss her. I hate that she is there with him. Part of me wants to beg her to come home, but I will not allow myself to play those games. It will be even worse if it turns out this is my child and she is still with him. On March 8th, 2024, I got the results. I am the father. I felt incredibly conflicted. Part of me was happy, even relieved. I had already accepted in my mind that I was going to be a father, but sometimes I cannot believe this is my life. After we got the results, she texted me saying she was glad I was the father and that she knew I would be a great dad. She texted me baby name ideas that night. She tried calling, but I ignored the calls. I only replied to texts. She asked if she could come get a few things. I told her that was fine, but made it clear her affair partner better not come. Of course, he came along. He walked into the house behind her like it was no big deal. She ran upstairs to grab her things. He and I stood in the living room. He tried to talk to me, saying he understood how I must feel. He claimed he would not try to take my place with the baby and hoped we could get along, since we would both be in her life. He said he respects me. I told him to get out or I would punch him. He stayed. I went upstairs and confronted her, asking why she brought him. She claimed he forced his way in. She said she is in love with him now, that he is who her 30-year-old self wants, not me. She said she is setting up a nursery in his house, and I can set one up at mine. She does not plan to seek full custody and will not keep me from our child. How generous of her. When she went back downstairs, he was still there. I walked up and punched him. He fell back into a table. She screamed, "What the fuck?" and ran to him. Several hours later, she texted me saying she was sorry about what happened. She insisted he was a good guy, who cared about her and respected me. I could not believe it. She said, "Fine. I'm trying to have a mature conversation about this. I can't help that we fell in love. Believe it or not, I am not trying to hurt you, and I want everything to be amicable." This guy took my wife and is taking my child too. Sure, I am the biological father, but they are setting up a nursery together. I have tried not to feel jealous or sad. I try to tell myself he is the trash man picking up my garbage. But the truth is, I loved her and still do. I do not want to stay married to her out of pride or principle. But this is devastating. As of April 10th, 2024, she was about 26 weeks pregnant. There has not been much drama between her and her affair partner lately. I went away for a long weekend last week, and it felt nice to get away from home for a while. The only really annoying thing that happened recently was about the delivery room. I told her that I will be in the delivery room, not him. After everything she has done, she owes me that. It is not his baby. He has no right or reason to be there. I will not be the one waiting outside while my child is being born. At first, she agreed and said she had no intention of having him there. I asked if she had told him that, and she said no. I told her to tell him. She did, and apparently he did not like that. He started trying to convince her why he should be there. Next thing I know, she was telling me that he really wants to be there and that she should be allowed to decide who is present since she is the one giving birth. She said she wanted both of us there. I refused. We talked a bit more, and she said I can have our house and the dog during the divorce. I told her I wanted to sell the house and split the profit. That is already included in the paperwork. I am not buying her out of the house, a house that I made all the payments on anyway. I have a better credit score and less debt. I compromised a lot because she loved this house. Now, I would rather have my own place with no reminders of her. There was no way she was getting the dog. I already had proof that I owned him, so she would not stand a chance. That was the one thing I told my lawyer I wanted above everything else, other than custody of my child. Honestly, her affair partner can have her, but he will never have my dog. My dog is more loyal than she ever was, and, some might say, even better looking. Since I will not be living in this house for much longer after the baby is born, I decided to still prepare a nursery here anyway. I did not want anyone to accuse me of not being prepared for fatherhood. Now I can decorate it however I want, without her input. It feels kind of nice not living with someone, but also a bit lonely. I have friends and family, but I am tired of always being asked about what is going on. I got a promotion at work recently, which would have been better timing financially if it had happened after the divorce, but I will take what I can get. It feels like I am living in limbo, always thinking, how will this affect me in the divorce? I admit I sometimes spy on them on social media. I secretly hope to see her affair partner in a motorcycle accident or something, but that has not happened yet. He is starting a new company, and once it is up and running, I plan to get all my friends and family to leave one-star reviews everywhere. Her sister reached out to me and apologized for her sister's actions, saying she is a dumbass. Her sister also told me my wife was already complaining about her affair partner. She said that the sex is over as soon as he finishes, that he is selfish in bed, and that he does not do any of the small things I used to do, like warming up her car or making her food. I feel vindicated hearing that. Despite everything, I still feel stuck. Sometimes I think about the future with our daughter. I will not let him play daddy. I will always be there. A few weeks after that, my wife gave birth. Our daughter was born 2 weeks early. My wife texted me that her water had broken while she was at her affair partner's house. I was surprised she contacted me and not him. She said she wanted me to take her to the hospital because I had already seen her at her worst and she felt more comfortable with me. I drove over, picked her up, and took her to the hospital. I stayed calm, quiet, and supportive. She cried a lot in the car and kept saying she was sorry. I did not say much. She asked if I could hold her hand while she was being admitted. I did. After long labor, our daughter was born. Healthy, beautiful, perfect. I was the first to hold her. I cried. Later, the hospital asked for custody-related paperwork, and I had everything ready. I had been preparing for this for months. She stayed in the hospital for 2 nights. I visited both days. After she was discharged, she called and said she was overwhelmed and did not want to go back to her affair partner's house. She asked if she could stay with me for a few days until she got settled. I agreed. That was 3 weeks ago. She has been staying at my house since then, but we sleep in separate rooms. She cooks, cleans, and tries to be kind. She says she wants to show me she can be a good partner and mother. She tries not to bring up the affair or talk about her affair partner. I do not know what she wants. She said she still loves me, but does not expect anything. She just wants to raise our daughter well. I am not interested in getting back together. I cannot trust her. I do not think I ever will. But I do not want to kick her out either. I want to be close to my daughter. The affair partner has texted her a few times. She does not respond, at least not when I can see. Her sister said she told him it was over, but I do not know if I believe that. I am watching. If she steps out of line again, I will have her out of this house so fast. But for now, I am focusing on my daughter. She is the only thing that matters now. Commenter 1. He is in a terrible situation. He does not have a solid handle on this, and she will likely love bomb him at just the right level to make him take her back. Then the pattern will repeat. She will either go back to this homewrecker or find someone else. She is not stable, and OP is not equipped to deal with this complex of problem alone. Commenter 2. When the boyfriend came over, I would have just casually said, she was married and pregnant, and she still decided to start an affair with a random person at the gym. What do you think will happen when she gets tired of you and her 35-year-old self suddenly decides she wants someone new? People never cease to amaze me. Commenter 3. She is not in love with the affair partner. She just likes the attention. That is why she kept trying to get OP's attention so desperately before she left. It was her last challenge, to keep the hurt husband under her spell. But since it did not work, she went for the next best thing. It is honestly sad. Even if the baby is OP's, now that she went to the affair partner, she finally got what she wanted. OP's attention by leaving him feeling jealous of the life he could have had if he had just taken her back. Or at least that is how she sees it. Commenter 4. Of course she thinks the affair partner is a good guy, because she is not, and her standards have been lowered for over a year. She flirted with a homewrecker and then fully cheated. She is the villain, but people do not call themselves villains. She is the hero of her own story, so obviously the person she is dating is also a hero. When he cheats on her, she will not like hearing a new woman say, he is a good guy. Commenter 5. Seriously, good guys do not sleep with married people. And now, with the baby here, he is going to realize what he signed up for. A crying newborn, a stressed-out woman, and no sex for months. I give them until Christmas before he starts cheating or disappears. Commenter 6. This oops, it happened. I cannot control my heart mentality is so immature. You can control it. When you are attracted to someone outside your marriage, you keep away from them and use it as motivation to spice up your own relationship. The ex seems childish and deeply insecure. She never bothered to become her own person. It is so sad. Commenter 7. She is going to blame the child for appending her life, for sure. She will do anything but admit she is the problem. People like her are human sinkholes. They never want to take responsibility for anything. Commenter 8. The affair partner respected Opie. He slept with his wife in locker rooms. He is a joke. He thinks he won. But in reality, he just caught a grenade with a baby attached. Commenter 9. This story just makes me feel so sorry for the baby. That poor child is going to grow up in a mess, seeing her mother jump from one self-destructive relationship to another. The only saving grace is Opie seems ready to be a stable presence. Commenter 10. She ruined everything for butterflies. The novelty wears off fast when diapers and doctor appointments replace sneaky texts and quick locker room sex. She will figure it out too late.